They got some bikes, they're gonna ride through all the countryside, and they'll do it side by side. Kenneth and Allie, they're gonna rally through all the peaks and valleys. Shout out to Rand McNally, with the West Coast ready to greet them in search of the unending weekend. Well, it's a trans-American ride.
My mom always wanted me to be a doctor.
Cool.
So I have my own private practice.
Diagnosing me.
I'm a bullshitologist.
Well,
So our last clip, we were at the gas station. I was putting a chain on my bike, new tires on our wheels. We were hydrating as much as we could. And
feeling good.
yeah, it felt good. I was definitely ready to get out of there. It just
Yeah.
felt too hectic and chaotic. It felt too many options, too many choices, too many temptations. So we left, and we got a couple miles out, and then I was like, oh yeah, Allie has those pens. And so I was like, I want to try one. And so we pulled over, and I
Weed
did.
pens.
Yeah. And I got so high. I'm still recovering from it. It just made the day very, very interesting. I was viewing this whole ride in a different lens of like a bigger thing and just how crazy it is and how difficult it's been so far and how just the whole thing really and how you've been during it and how I've been. And I think I'm ready to go home.
What?
Not really.
No.
I'm high. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's actually like starting to get cool.
Yeah.
And like everything, so used to the East Coast, just the way the trees are, the way the mountains are, the way the hills are, people are. I mean, those pictures you were looking at on Instagram last night of those people out west, that stuff looks epic. And I really, aside from some of the Blue Ridge Parkway stuff, like we haven't really seen any vistas that were like really breathtaking or really anything unfamiliar or new.
Yeah, we were just saying, like, the best towns and places we have been have just been, like, places that had everything we need as far as resupplying gear and stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't stayed in a place because we thought it was amazing.
It was tempting at Broken Fiddle.
Yeah.
That place was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean,
we zeroed there, and that was perfect.
yeah, that was the respect that it deserves. And then we went straight into hell after that.
Kentucky, Southern Illinois. But anyways, we did 12 miles, I guess, from the gas station to Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And we pulled into a church, like the shade behind it. It was really hot and really humid and like hazy.
Yeah.
Everything is like yellowish golden.
It's all like evaporating.
It's very trippy.
Yeah. It rained pretty hard today a couple times, and so all that moisture is just going back up into the sky. You can see it.
Yeah.
The way the sun is so low, we're going west, and the sun is just facing us the whole time. So all those particulates of water are just like going back up, but they're also being tinted with the light of the sun. And so it does look like this weird wavy kind of golden red.
Yeah.
It's like being in a furnace or like a sauna, like a hot steam sauna.
It's like 90 degrees too.
And then you can feel it.
The sun is really, really fucking hot.
Yeah, especially when it's just like faced right at you and it's flat. There's no trees to cover you. So
we're at the church and I was feeling great. You were feeling high, but
I was like, dude,
good
this is
either
my hardest day I've ever had.
Yeah, you said that a few times. I was pretty surprised.
I just felt like
considering the terrain.
Some of the hills before we really warmed up, or before I warmed up again while being high, it was just like, I don't know if I can get to the top of this hill because I don't think I can breathe anymore. I was forcing myself to breathe instead of just naturally breathing.
Yeah.
So this clip's gonna have a lot of tangents because I had a lot of thoughts today. Anyway, we were like, Allie was like, I feel good. we should keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Fuck Murfreesboro. And I was
We
like,
didn't even like go into the town at
no,
all.
not at all. We just we skirted along the side of it.
And we were out of water pretty much.
Yep.
So that wasn't good.
And you were eating chips, and I was like, oh no, she's gonna drink all her water right now.
And I did, but I was fine
Yeah.
because I was super hydrated from the morning and then the gas station.
We had a
stop.
lot of water.
I was like kind of gross, but sometimes sweat like comes on my lip and I like taste it to just do like a general wellness check,
Yeah.
and it wasn't too salty. So I thought that was a good thing.
Well, hey, placebo effect, right? Who cares? It got you here, so
Yeah.
it was a good thing.
So then we made a turn and we went at least like 6 miles.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You
Yeah.
stopped at one point in the shade just to like check in.
Yeah,
'Cause
make
I
sure
almost
you were.
fucking passed out this morning.
Yeah.
I was still like thinking about that a lot.
It was really exposed to this
Yeah.
section. It was just like pure sun.
Yeah. So it was nice to have those breaks.
Yeah. We had a Turtle Boy experience,
Yeah.
a new one. I don't know what kind it was, but
It was big.
He had
think it
claws,
was, Yeah,
too.
it was still like a tortoise type thing,
yeah,
but he was feisty.
he was feisty. I tried to like scoot him along, and he kept trying to resist and like go the opposite direction. He might have been okay if we had just left him alone because the road wasn't heavily trafficked, but
But he was fast.
he was fast.
He
And-
stuck his feet out and like ran at one point.
yeah, I was like, whoa, whoa. I didn't know if he was going to try to bite my foot.
But we got him as far off the road as we could.
Yeah,
The rest is on him.
yep.
Don't be dumb.
He will likely be dumb. He was dumb when we met him, so I doubt he's changed. But then, I guess it just all sort of leveled out,
Yeah.
kind of
'cause-
like right after that.
Well, you checked the map and you were like, shit. And I was like, oh no, we like made a wrong turn and we have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back or something. But
Right.
you were like, we're on the detour right now. This is something that we had noticed when, I guess, you loaded the new map.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, there's like this, I don't even know, it can't be more than 20 miles.
I think it's 40.
miles.
Yeah.
Here's a salad.
Oh,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yep. I just got some salad.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, we're on the detour route right now, and it's like dead flat. Like that was one of the craziest things about the light that we were seeing in front of us, because we're going like due west right now, and I guess I don't know if it's because we're like close to a river or what, but this is so flat,
Yeah.
and it's not going to stay that way for very long. But we just had like, I think we just had 16 miles, and I think maybe 10 of them were just like dead flat.
Yeah.
It was such a different like experience.
And the most ironic part is we didn't even mean to take this detour.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a plan. We had talked about it at one point, and I had noticed that it was by a river, and I was like, oh, it's probably flat. Maybe that would be better. But I don't think we intentionally, like, made the choice to turn.
I think that what happened really was when we were in Damascus, and you were cooking, and I was drinking and making the routes. And I was like, hey, would you rather go like through some like normal ass towns, or do you want to go like down by a river? Which sounds better? And you were like, river. I
'Cause
think.
it would be flat.
And dude, good choice.
And yeah, when we were at another stop, I peed on the side of the road, but it was so flat and so straight, I had to wait like 5 minutes before all the cars passed, because you could see them for miles.
Yeah, it was like 2 to 3 mile visibility or something.
But then you're looking at the map and realize that there's this tiny ass little like bar and grill restaurant,
Bottoms
like,
up.
7 miles away with 85 feet of elevation gain.
Yeah,
And we were like, damn. I was very skeptical. I was like, there's no way it's going to be open. It's Sunday. Like, pretty much the whole town of Carbondale was closed. But it said it was open on Google, and we just set off and
yeah.
hoped.
Crossed our fingers.
And then we pull in, the parking lot's full.
Everyone from around is here. We walked in, silence.
It got quiet, and everyone like looked at us. It was
Yeah.
weird.
We definitely look a little strange, but we don't look that weird. And I felt like, I guess maybe that was proportional, but it was weird to have a whole room look at you kind of all at once, because I was still a little
Yeah.
high, so I just looked at the floor and went over to the bartender, because I was like, that's a person of business. I don't have to worry about like weird judgment casts by people who are just patrons and eating and, and judging and having opinions. They want my money. I've got money. Let's make a transaction occur, and let's get out of this awkward moment. So
What did you talk to them about?
I was like, hi. And she was like, y'all can sit anywhere you want. And I was like, can we sit outside? And she was like, yes. And I was like, bingo. And so secretly, I'm actually going to try to get us to camp here. I'm going to try to slip that in at some point. I'm going to probably have another beer.
I think you should ask if there's anywhere within 2 miles that allows camping.
Genius.
Because I think that, like, saying
Can we stay here?
your little tactic from before was
Too forward?
not... Yeah, I think so.
That's a way better way of doing it.
Yeah.
See if they offer it.
Right.
Can they fall into the trap?
Because they might not have thought of it, but then you could say that and they'll be like, oh, well, shit, look at this yard. It's in the shade, like, it's flat as fuck, it's grassy. This must be a really great place to camp, and I'm sure you guys, like, want to stay here. Be like, yeah,
We'd love to.
thanks.
We haven't pitched our full tent in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think back to when the last time we did was, and the only time that comes to mind for sure is the bear night. And I can't think
Really?
of anything. Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like we had pavilions and or hotels.
That was a long-ass time. That
Yeah.
was, like, day 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Or
Maybe
2
even
or
like
3?
yeah, it was like the first week for sure.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other times? I can't even think of the last time we didn't camp
The
somewhere
only
that
thing
was
I
like
think about is I check often to see if I even still have the stakes. Because I
Oh,
don't take
yeah.
them out every day. I'm just like, they're still in there, right?
that's an indication in of itself for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Staying here would be great.
Because we still did like 31,
Something
30
like
miles.
that. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Allie just had a
There's
fuzz.
like these little white puffs that are coming off the trees. And I just breathed it in. Oh no,
You got snatched up.
I'm getting a rash.
Really? Oh, shit. Is that from sun, maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, shit.
It's not raised. Dude, I'm getting so fucked up. Like, physically. I was talking with my friend Casey last night, and she was like, how are you? Like, for real. I was like, you know what? This is, like, really hard on me physically. I didn't really expect that. I'm not surprised. But,
It's radically
It's a
different.
lot.
Yeah. It's so different.
yeah. It's good. Like, I don't think it's something that's gonna beat me down too much, but I enjoy it.
It's definitely a challenge, and that was
Yeah.
one thing I thought about today when I was going up the first hill after I got really high. I was like, man, if this is how Allie felt the other night when we were going by that church, and I was like, we should stop at this church, then I can't imagine pushing 60 miles feeling like that for any portion of them, because it was so difficult, and I was so unsure of if I'd be able to make it up a hill, or if I would, die before I got to the top, or what was going to happen.
I mean, that's a very extreme version. I don't think I feel like that a lot, but
I don't think you do either. I just think recently something has happened. You've had some phases you've gone like in and out of,
yeah.
and I think this one might just be pure exhaustion.
Yeah, but I feel like it's in a weird way making me stronger.
Well, yeah,
and
I
I'm
think-
gonna keep going
yeah.
either way. I'm gonna push through it.
You're-
So, like, it's badass.
I feel like your body is hitting limits and having to reset the thresholds of what you can take and what you can do.
yeah.
And it's like, I've just, unfortunately, our experience levels are so mismatched that, like, I've just hit that point so many times that I don't really encounter it anymore, which is why it's so interesting when I do feel high and then I'm like, I can't make it up this hill, because that's a feeling I don't ever have. I feel like I can get up any hill, and
Yeah.
and it's sort of a point of pride that gets me over it, because I've never had any hill I've never had any moment where I've had to walk my bike. Like, and that's,
Ever?
No.
In your cycling career?
it's a point of pride. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
Wow.
I've never, and it's only because I've never done it that I want to keep never doing it.
Yeah, that's
'Cause it's-
impressive.
Yeah. I even remember when, like, Emery, which you met him a couple times. He's like the short guy who works at
Yeah.
a bike shop. Shout out to Emery. You're not that short. But, like, I remember when we were in Chattanooga, and that's obviously a 160-mile ride. And when we got there, like, he was so over it and so out of it that after we'd gone to some place to get something to drink or whatever it was, he walked up this hill, and I was still riding. I was just walking. I was riding as fast as he was walking, and just like talking to him and stuff, and trying to make sure that he was like kind of okay and like not going to just throw his bike down, or I think he was more mentally over it. It was so fucking hot that day.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The only day that was hotter was the day that was after that day. And I think it was just hotter because I rode back by myself. But all that just to say, like, I've had those moments and I've still been able to overcome them. And so it makes me feel very confident in pretty much any scenario, because I've just logged so many miles, which is weird too because your expertise is the trail and hiking and stuff like that. But I felt like I was so easily able to transition whatever it is about me athletically.
You're an athlete, dude.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. You won't acknowledge it, but
I don't like labels.
I appreciate that.
Because when you say you're an athlete, it sounds like you compete, and I don't. I hate competition.
Yeah.
That
well,
to
you're
me.
You're just capable.
Yeah.
And strong. And like very mentally tough as well.
I mean, I go through all the same battles, but I've just gone through them so many times. I know that it doesn't really matter unless I'm high what I feel at the moment, because I know it's going to change. Because over the course of an 8-hour day of riding or whatever, you're going to go through a lot of different states, and the thing about the body is that you're probably not going to die in any of those states. And so it just doesn't matter if you have a couple of hours where it's like really hard or really bad, because it'll get cooler eventually. The sun will go down eventually, you know.
Yeah, but it does matter if those things like get to you mentally, which they do for me, and I think that's the reason why this is tough.
It is, but
and the trail is tough too.
Yeah.
Like, I am strong like you are, but that strength comes from like something else. I'm not that optimistic when I feel like that. It's just like push until
the top,
until like you can see the top at least, and then drink some water and try to keep going.
But that's the thing, though. I've had 12 more years of that type of encounter with myself. And so you're going to be so hardened by this, I think.
The AT was not only my first like through hike and long distance adventure, it was my first like significant athletic feat as well.
Right.
I mean, like I was into running a little bit, but I was homeschooled, so I was never in track or anything. I did a couple 5Ks and shit, but it didn't stick. Like I was not in any form of like athletic,
competitive,
the
thing where you get better over time after training and stuff like that.
So like the trail taught me a lot, and I was so motivated and I was so in my element, and this is doing the same for me, but in a different way.
It's very different. It's more hostile.
It is.
Like in every way. The traffic that zooms by, the sun exposure, the terrain.
road fill that we see and smell all the time. It's just like a constant. You said that. I don't know if you said it on the podcast, but you were like, we see and smell the roadkill, and it makes you wonder if you're next or something. Because it's cars that do all that shit. It's the drivers that are responsible for being alert and aware, and fortunately we've gotten this far, but I mean, how can no place is safe on the road, man.
How can you hit like a turtle or an animal like that? Like, you have to be so out of it and like careless, and my thought is that a lot of that stuff happens at night, but I mean, how many people drive at night on these roads? Probably not as many as in the day. Like, I don't know, it's just, I've never hit an animal. I've never even hit a squirrel.
Me neither.
And like, I can't imagine hitting like a deer is like an accident, but I feel like a turtle, it's like you could see that unless it's on the top of like a bend or something like that. And so it's just like, dude, fucking look.
Did you talk about that, Sean?
No. But we both had the same feeling. We saw the sign. It said, cyclists use caution. When we were leaving, I think it was before we got to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, it was still very hilly.
But I was very offended by that sign
Yeah.
because it was like telling us that they know that this route is like dangerous, and or the traffic is bad, and or the roads are bad, and or whatever that could possibly merit them putting. I haven't seen that sign anywhere else, so
No.
it was just like,
And it was offensive because, in my understanding, pedestrians, which we are part of that category, like, always have the right of way and always are granted, like
grace, kind of.
yeah, the
It's-
first courtesy. Like,
Yeah.
you stop for pedestrians, you look out for pedestrians. So that sign should have said, like, caution drivers, cyclists ahead or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's their responsibility to be alert. It's not our responsibility to
Look out for
narrowly
them.
get by.
Yeah, yeah. Which, thank God we have the mirrors, because those really,
They're so great.
they help a lot.
Yeah, I would honestly say that's one of my favorite pieces of gear.
I never use mine. It's just more of a fashion accessory. Yeah. Could I get
Yeah.
another PBR though?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, just this one.
Do you happen to know if there's any place around here that like has camping or anything like that?
So right now there's not a whole lot of places because of COVID.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You guys heading up like by Chester?
Probably not tonight,
Because I
but
was gonna say Chester's probably gonna be the only place with like lodging.
okay. Okay, that makes sense. There's no community centers here, and how do you say it?
And this is Jacob.
Oh, this is
Nooner.
Jacob?
This is Nooner.
Nooner,
Yeah.
okay.
So Jacob is that way. This is Nooner, and then Gorham is that way. So,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
might have to do some research.
yeah, we'll review our options in that
Yeah.
case.
I gotcha.
Cool.
Thank you.
There's like it tells you on the map. Do you guys like have a map that
Yeah.
you use?
Yep.
It will tell you there's camping by like this really weird like water area. There's not.
Okay.
It's just like giving you a forewarning.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
really close to here, and it's like something landings.
Okay.
It'll tell you there's camping, but if there's not camping, so
Okay.
Is
just
it
like a
is it
heads
just
up.
because the ground is bad, or?
it's usually flooded out around this time of the year.
Oh, okay.
Because the water's usually up.
Gotcha.
You guys are lucky though. Sometimes when you come through here, the water's like over all your routes.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So it's not right now, but
Huh.
usually last year we ran into that a lot. so-
Really?
Wow.
Huh. Well, thanks for the info.
Cool, thanks. The plan did not work.
No. She's probably not the owner, though.
Yeah. You're gonna go in there and be like, "Can I talk to your manager, please?"
Yeah. Who made this burger? Yeah. I didn't see anything on the map about camping.
I feel like there would be stealth options.
Yeah, if it's this flat,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hide in,
mean-
like a little bunch of trees.
If this place closes at like 8:30 or 9, we could just wait around. Stealth behind it.
Yeah, maybe. It's like in a gate though.
Is it?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Something's gonna work out.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I was just hoping that she would catch my drift. I remember watching this TED Talk by this guy named Steven Pinker, and he studies language. He's really, really cool. The stuff that he talks about that has to do with language is like really interesting to think about because we just kind of take it for granted. But he is a linguist, so he studies all that stuff. And he was reviewing this clip from a movie called it's called Fargo. It's a Coen Brothers movie, kind of famous in like people who care about film. I was sort of like tangentially related to people who cared about film, so I saw a bunch of crucial films that people say are good. Anyway, he was reviewing this scene where this guy, it's Steve Buscemi. Do you know Steve Buscemi? He's
Maybe.
you would probably know him if you saw him. He's got a very distinct look. Anyway, though, he was trying to bribe a police officer because they had like a body in the back of their car or something in this movie. And so the police officer comes up and goes over to the window where Steve Buscemi is, and they start talking about like where they're going, why he got pulled over, that kind of stuff. And Steve Buscemi looks at him and he was like, I was really kind of hoping we could take care of this in Fargo. And so Steven Pinker examines that because it's like a very subtle hint that a bribe could be provided. And he was
What
just...
is Fargo?
Fargo is a city in some state. I don't know. some like Midwestern kind of state. Maybe Minnesota. I don't know. It was cold in the movie.
Yeah.
But all that just to say, it's very interesting, like what I just tried to do, because I was, like with your suggestion, obviously,
Yeah.
subtly suggesting that this would be a fucking great camp spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mean to talk so much, but I'm just,
Can't help it.
I can't help it.